Hey guys, Salvi here, just reminding you to, of course, like, subscribe, and follow, and all that kind of good stuff that YouTube asks if you enjoy what video I'm going to put out for you today. Thank you. This is from the VShojo subreddit. Michimochievee is doing their first outfit design competition. We'll be deciding the winner live on stream. Please read below for more information, rules, and a template. And here we go. The template is very important because if you don't follow them, then well, the deadline is on the 29th of August. Wanted to try something like this for a while now. Was kind of nervous to post it because of everything going on, but first think of it could be a fun thing for us to do. Hope you guys have fun with it too. So yeah, let me go over the actual rules and I will show you in a bigger, bigger picture part. Here are the rules that she has set about, and it says we are hosting our first outfit one personal favorite, 2 chat's favorite, and 3 secret, 3rd other thing. Deadline is 29th of August. Theme, this is a very Michi design. Concept, I want to see how you see me, to be honest. So whatever you think portrays my vibes, my personality, etc., shoot for it. It can be anything as long as you think it fits my vibe and your perspective. So yeah, and it says you are allowed multiple submissions, but you can only win for 1. You must comply with Twitch's TOS. No booba-da-booba-dees and hips and such, but uncovered hips and such. You know, just follow the guidelines that Twitch has for those things. Must be your own and original, so do refrain from using extensive inspiration from or reference of other VTubers, anime characters, etc. No copying and or stealing other people's work. The base model is provided in the announcement tweet, but feel free to draw your own, whatever you feel most comfy with. I will be retaining rights to your design if your design wins. Only if the design wins. Commissioning other artists are okay only if the artist is informed, aware, and consented that you're using their work for this contest. Please do credit the original artist when giving your submission. No AI. That is a big thing that happens nowadays. No AI. We'll be going through your submissions on stream, so please keep that in mind. Remember to use the tag Michi Outfit Design to submit your work. Reserve the right to disqualify anyone breaking the rules, and so do so. Read carefully. So if you are thought to have used AI, etc., then of course you will be disqualified. And the design there is that one there. You can take a look on her actual Twitter. I'm not going to show it any closer because you know how YouTube can be with these things as well. Everything is covered that needs to be covered, but you know how YouTube can be, so I'm going to leave it at this size instead of being the bigger one. So of course, big luck to every single person who's going to be doing this, and congratulations to Michimochievee for moving forward and being able to do something that's amazing for the community. A bit of a VShojo meme here. Really short one here. It says ex-Niji are like, you have freed us. And then VShojo's like, oh, I wouldn't say freed. More like under new management. And of course, this is of I believe it's the Incredibles, or one of those. The old, old school, older 3D movies of, Incredibles and such. But yeah, it is very, very fitting. The whole thing here, the actual content of the movie is actually very very much in tune with what VShojo did. We have some good news in regards to K9 Kuro. Kuro, who used to be a part of VShojo, the only male in VShojo, was of course someone that used to be Mysterious of Nirisanji En. So he moved from there to there, and he had some good news, at least something related to his merch. He was finally paid this year for the merch that he got in 2023. His debut merch finally paid 2 years later. But let's let him say everything.
I'll tell you guys a little funny little fact. You guys remember when I debuted in 2023? I sold a bunch of merch. It was my debut merch, right? I debuted
sold a lot of that merch
in 2023. Yes. I got paid for that in June 11th.
This year?
June 11th. This year.
That's like 2 years.
From 2 years ago when I debuted, I just got paid for it last month. I had, Maiko really helped with this. He really pushed for getting this. Maiko made a whole spreadsheet because there was no other things accounting for this. So big W's to Maiko. Maiko is the GOAT.
Maiko, I'm assuming, is the manager, talent manager for him in VShojo. So I'm assuming. Remember, almost all of the managers, the talent managers, were on the side, if I believe all of them, were on the side of the talents, and they were doing their best with a bad system to try to get things to the talents.
And he was able to get me paid. To keep in mind is that first merch was 2 years ago. That debut merch is 2 years ago, guys. It's 2 years ago. It was fucking October, like 2023. Do you know how long that is?
That's way too long.
Here's the thing. A lot of members are going to say this, and they probably have already said this. It feels really stupid to, defend the company for all the stuff. Like, because we didn't know about all this stuff, right? How do I explain this? Of course they did. Well, I didn't know that I was missing that merchandise payment, right? Because VShojo doesn't pay merch monthly. They pay it quarterly. If you're a streamer who streams a lot, especially other members who stream way longer, you're trusting your company or whoever's in charge of your financials to get it right. By the time that I started slowing down on streaming after around a year, so I thought, oh, that's already accounted for, right? Because who the fuck looks at that after a year? And then this is my personal opinion. That contract was way better than I'd ever had. But the problem is, if you can't fucking provide what the contract says, then the contract means nothing.
Exactly. And that's where I wanted to leave it off. If you can't provide what the contract says, then the contract is just useless. I'm glad that he finally got his money, and I hope that at least some other people got a little bit of their merch money. It doesn't mean that he's not still owed a ton. It does not mean that the other talents are still not owed a ton, but at least they're getting something. And from a company that's pretty much going to be bankrupt, and from a company that's pretty much going to be gone, it is nice to have at least gotten something. It's unfortunate that a lot of others didn't, but you got to take your wins when you can. Spoke a little bit about the Veibae situation and what she ended up saying, because remember, Veibae did actually come out with a lot of things, and she's not really under NDA, or at least she felt the NDA wasn't going to be enforced. So she said a lot of stuff on her Twitter, and of course Mouse had a bit of a reaction to everything, and it's not a negative one, of course. Let's just see what she has to say.
Yeah, she popped off. Man, she has balls. She's a Giga Chad. No joke. Yeah, you could tell she was waiting to say something for a while, and I'm glad that she got to say what she had to say. I'm really glad she got to say what she wanted to say. I feel like there are just so many people that just wanted to say stuff, but so many people were trapped behind NDAs and stuff, trapped behind crazy paperwork, and could not speak. Yeah,
that's scary.
A lot of I'm trying to dance around things. To not outright say stuff, because unfortunately I am as much as I would like to say everything, I can't, because I'm in the middle of I have a lawyer and I'm in the middle of a legal thing going on, so I can't really be as outspoken as everybody else. Which
she has a lot of things. Remember, she has a lawyer, and the lawyer is telling her shut the f up, in kinder ways. But that's what that's why it's not bad that she's not saying anything.
It's killing me, which pains me a lot, because I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. And there have been things that I have seen. I have seen some things. One particular thing that is frustrating the out of me that I really want to talk about, but I can't. And it's I'm trying to word this in a way where it's just a way so that my lawyer doesn't get mad at me. Does it involve the talent? I will say there are some staff members that were amazing. There are some staff members that were wonderful. And that tried their best. They tried their best. There were some staff members that truly had the feelings and thoughts of the talent in their hearts, and truly wanted to fix things and make things work, and some that did not understand the full picture of what was going on, because unfortunately there were a lot of people that were being misled and misinformation being relayed. I would just say that the biggest thing that, if I could say one thing that was the biggest problem, it would be communication.
And there we go. That's where I'm going to leave it. Of course, she continues on for another 4 minutes or so in this specific clip. We're not going to go through all of it. But yeah, she says, there's a lot of things that go on in there that people will not be aware of, that people will not know of, and of course that we will probably never ever find out because of legal stuff.
Sucks. It sucks because it's like I see people like commenting on everything and like making videos and like talking about stuff. But it's like there's just so much that people just don't understand.
So yeah, she just continues that. I just wanted to see if there was anything else big that she was popping off, but it's basically continuing the whole thing that her and many of the talents, the most recent talents, may still be stuck behind an NDA and cannot speak as much as they want to. You had Kei-san, who's been able to dance around things and talk about just her experiences, about how she feels about the rest of the community, the rest of the big corpo community, that is, and things like that. But of course, Mouse is one of the primary ones affected, like the bigger ones affected, so she is going through lawyer stuff, and that makes it so she can't speak. My biggest respects to her, though, and I do hope that everything goes well for her on the legal front. DJ Wheat is right now someone that I'm going to be talking about because they were kind of at the same time as Gunrun, a member of the Twitch founding team. They were a director of creator development, I believe, inside of Twitch, and they are also VP of community development on Play Fortis Games. The reason why I'm talking about them today is that according to them, which is just alleged until it's found out to be true, according to them, they were reached out by Gunrun to replace the COO APEC, Chief Operating Officer, who Gunrun supposedly felt was not doing well in his position, was not doing anything other than just accepting a paycheck from what he's saying, from what I gather. So let's hear what he actually has to say here.
Let's see. Like, this was, hey, we put the work in. We now can really build the agency that we want to build. There was a soft offer to join as VShojo as COO. And I was like, hey, what's this person do? Like,
well, yeah, that's what you asked.
Why do you need a COO if you have a COO? I never really got a good answer. And so
of course,
at one point there was a conversation with like Gunrun and me and these other two individuals. And it became very clear to me that not only were these two individuals that were not Gunrun, like, not only were they not worthy of the titles that they held, I also got the indication that they didn't want to do jack, and they just wanted to be able to tap into this money that has now been raised. It got to the point where I was like, I would never take this job unless something is done about these two individuals.
Dang, that's a straight up wow. That is harsher than I expected. So yeah, apparently there were, well, nepo hires, strong nepotism of just friends and people that maybe he knew from industry, etc., who in this case wanted to tap into the $11 million that they had just raised, and instead, for their own things and for just, enriching themselves instead of doing anything for VShojo or the talents. That's never happened as far as I know. Those people never were taken off. Those people never left. And we are in the position that we are today, where money was gone, where money was not spent correctly, and it is the end of VShojo. So that is crazy to see, and it is a wild accusation, of course, but he is someone who's a bit more trustworthy than Gunrun, of course, more trustworthy than Gunrun, and he doesn't really have any skin in the game other than saying, yeah, maybe, I guess you could gain a little popularity, but, always take the things that I say at, face value, things that I put here at face value, because I do run with the information that I have, but it is still limited information, and it is them talking, so there is although small, chance that they are just doing this for clout. I just want to put that out there because, people have been saying that about, some stories that I have out there. I do my best, but, of course, take it with a grain of salt. A bit before the whole VShojo thing blew up last month on June 26th, they held Cover held their 9th general meeting of shareholders, and thanks to Chris the HoloPro Simp, we can actually take a look at a lot of the questions here because they helped, get everything translated. They'll have here 14 big questions. One was they added articles of incorporation, the production of master records and music recordings. That was just mainly for revenue to show, the right type of revenue going in to make sure everything is 100% on that. Second question is about increasing compensation for directors. Increase is intended to secure a compensation framework and expand it in line with business expansion and diversification. So it's good that they're getting a little bit more increase in that if the directors are actually doing a lot of work. It is basically a way to keep good talent. You pay them more, talent is good, becoming better, doing a lot more stuff. You pay them more to keep them with you. Third is the FTC violation. Cover repeatedly apologized for causing concerns. They have completed the payments that were brought up by the FTC. If you remember, there were some issues with not paying contractors on time, even though they ended up paying them anyways. The fact that they paid them later that they should have, that was a long time ago, meant that they did get fined by the Japanese FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, their own trade commission, their fair trade commission in this case, the Fair Trade Commission. They ended up getting fined for doing that at all, and they paid their fines, and they're trying to prevent it from happening again. Fourth question: status of Prime transition. Cover announced they have withdrawn from the transition 2 days before the meeting, but they were plan to resubmit. Basically, that's a stock market thing, to be in the prime area of stock markets instead of where they are now, which is I think a growing market, something like that. They're switching that over. Fifth question: mid to long-term growth. They are doing R&D, strengthening the supply chain, all that kind of stuff, so they will try to do long-term growth. Investor relations. Acknowledge that there is still a lack of proper communication with investors, and they're going to try to fix that. Seventh question is about shareholder returns and whether it will be dividends. They will consider it if the stock price drops significantly low, but no promises. There may not be dividends. It depends on the whole situation, of course. Eighth question is graduations. Carver acknowledged that it made various changes like hiring new head of talent management and monitoring systems that prevent talents from overwork. They will continue listening to talents' voices and changing accordingly. Slanders and initial leaks. Carver will strengthen internal systems to prevent unauthorized access from outside and conduct investigations whenever it happens. Now about the graduation thing. This is what they said. Because someone asked about sake of convenient dishonest words like change in direction. They want something more clear. And of course, Cover said it's contractual reasons. Neither party can disclose things about circumstances. Expression differences in direction is used to announce amicable agreements while respecting the wishes of both parties and not delving too deeply into specific circumstances in order to avoid speculation on sensitive matters. So basically, it's not like, oh my God, they hate us and that's why they're leaving us. It's more like, there were things that their direction changed, what they wanted to do changed, their feeling of everything that they're doing changed, and amicably they have split. And of course, because of, things like that, that's an issue. Because of, contracts. Ninth is a slight internal leaks. Like I mentioned, they're going to be trying to fix that. 10th, group management. Their strategic regions Cover refused to comment about the details. They made sure the risk management will be handled properly. They do have pretty good risk managers, people doing risk management as far as I could tell. So I do trust that they will be handling that properly. 11th question is about the new studio. They're fully operational and it will provide better 3D stream experience with Unreal Engine. Remember, they started hiring for Unreal Engine several months ago. Engineers that know how to use Unreal Engine and other uses in streaming activities. And yes, their 3Ds have gotten better with Unreal Engine. 12th question, overseas expansion. Cover USA is doing well as expected, and they will consider showing Holo EN revenue in future reports. So far, the revenue reports showed a general field, not separate fields. So they're going to be getting a little bit more to the brass tacks with that kind of stuff. 13 is status of Holo TCG. It's working as expected. It's doing extremely well. It is a bit expensive for some people, but it is doing extremely well, and they do want to do some more things in the US to kind of connect people with their brand. Last big question about Hollow Earth. Hollow Earth's position is a mid to long-term challenge to expand the possibilities of user experience, and they're prioritizing building a system for expanding the community. And of course, for now, it is going to stay as PC, and maybe eventually, when they have when things work out properly, they will be able to properly go to the regular market, the mobile market. 31 questions from investors, but this thread is long enough to stay tuned for part 2. So yeah, there's a ton of questions for investors. These are the most important ones that Chris showed right now, which I think are very important, and I was able to elaborate on some of them. I do know that Hololive has had some issues in the past. This is not me glazing Hololive. They've had some issues. Even investors know that they have had some issues. But the difference between them and their direct competitor in Japan is that they are actively working to make sure that the talents feel comfortable in their agency and that relations between them and the community are strong. Welcome back, everybody, to the VTuber Showcase, the place where I like to showcase up-and-coming VTubers of various sizes, shapes, forms, types, everything in between. The reason why I do this, as you all know by now, is because I want it to be a positive space for VTubing, a space where we can come chill, hang out, and see some VTubers out there instead of all the drama and all that kind of stuff. That's a part of it, but I want to go above that at this point. So let's take a little bit of a look at Radiance, who we have here, of course, an herbalist cat VTuber. They are more on YouTube than Twitch, so that's why I'm starting with the YouTube first. They're going to be doing Uma Musume Phasmophobia with some friends. They recently did Power Watch Simulator, and that's the one I'm going to talk about right now. Let's listen in and see how she's doing.
Taurian Flake! There's that sign. Okay, let's go to clean a sign. If after cleaning the sign it still doesn't give me an achievement that we feel, we can try again next time. It's actually not me trying, it's like my viewer gonna try next time when they carry me.
Power Watch Simulator, I've done it. It's very, very fun, and it's also one of those things that can help you just relax and forget about everything. So they also have, of course, a Twitch here, but it looks like they may not have Twitch VODs open, like in the sense of saving VODs there. So thank you once again, Radiance, for allowing me to showcase you on my channel. I do hope this helps you in some way. Thank you guys for watching as always, and of course take a look, and if you enjoy everything, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, all those things that YouTube asks of you. Really do appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.